try pushing both buttons simultaneously.
The two buttons are on opposite panels, so there's no way one person can push them both alone. But if two of us work together, it might do it.
That's it, Gillian. It makes perfect sense. It's the same system they used to use in nuclear missile silos in the late 20th century. Eliminates the risk of one man going nuts and acting alone.
Well, it's hard to be sure, but let's give it a try anyway. I've got button 1. Random, you push number 2. You ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Come on!
You did it! Door number 3 opened.
With safety measures like that, they must have had a good reason for wanting to keep it closed. Good God!
I read 4 human skeletons in this room.
It's their morgue.
Perhaps victims of the Snatchers?
Well, it doesn't look like whoever put them here was too worried about making sure they would rest in peace.
No, it doesn't. These have got to be their victims.
This is probably where they hide the bodies of the originals they snatched from places like Outer Heaven.
They probably picked Outer Heaven because it gets a lot of VIP traffic. Plus, during masquerade time, they could work the place and still keep their identities secret.
Yeah, and the guy who set up the link between them and Outer Heaven was Freddy, that taxi driver. They must have gone after him not because of who he was, but what he did. After all, with a taxi, there's plenty of chances to milk your customers for information. That's probably how they learned about Outer Heaven and Plato's Cavern.
I've been wondering what they had done with the bodies.
Want to hide a book? What better place than the library? Need to hide a body? How about the morgue?
And for them, keeping the bodies hidden is crucial. I mean, if somebody who's supposed to be dead is out walking the streets, it wouldn't be too hard to figure out that something screwy is going on.
That means that if we can figure out who these bodies were, then we've just nailed 4 Snatchers.
Now performing simulated reconstruction of the head and facial features of each of the 4 victims. Commencing with victim number 1. Now performing craniometric analysis. X-ray and sagittal X-ray, magnetic resonance imaging, and positron CT data gathered. Complete cranial data now being compiled. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction. First, victim's age. Estimate based on 1. Presence or absence of cranial fontanelles and chroma of epicranial sutures. 2. Area of facial region and cranium. 3. Height of upper and lower jaw and development of alveolar part. And 4. Location of cranial center of gravity. Next, victim's sex. Estimate based on 1. Overall size of cranium, 2. Parietal bone angle, and 3. Development of splachocranium. Lastly, victim's race. Estimate based on 1. Overall cranial configuration, 2. Volume of intracranial cavity, and 3. Mass of the skull. Now commencing soft feature reconstruction based on averaged results of above analysis. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race, 10% based on use of average values. Now adding